theme is empowering a self-motivated generation of problem solvers. Okay, let me start with this. This is my normal thing. Somebody look to the person sitting next to you and say nonsense. You understand right now? Point and say nonsense. I love the smiles on your faces. Point again, say nonsense. Point. Don't put your hand in the person's eye. Please, guys, don't do that, okay? Now, the reason why I'm saying this, and I say this everywhere I go, is that how many of us here have heard that knowledge is power? We've heard that statement before. I have, okay? Right. So, even though that is true, when you look at it from a holistic point of view, or you look at the nitty-gritty of everything, knowledge in itself is not power. It's the application of knowledge that's going to bring the power, the results, any other thing, okay? So everything that I'm going to say within the short time that I have, if you leave here and you don't go and apply it, it is what? Not just me, but all the other speakers, it is what? No, tell the person next to you, say nonsense. You know it actually. All right, so let me just start. Okay, now, let me start with this. Please, you have to be writing a lot when I speak, because you do a lot of note-taking. That's just how I am. Okay, so first of all, I want to say this, that every problem solver is a leader, but not every leader is a problem solver. Every problem solver is a leader, but not every leader is a problem solver. That is why we have some people in positions, but they are not able to solve any problems for you and I. And they are our so-called leaders. But once you're a problem solver, you automatically become a leader. Okay? Do you get that? Oh, did you get that? All right. So, as we're talking about problem solving, I'm saying that a problem solver is automatically a leader. Then we have to talk about leadership. Okay? Now, leadership is all about influence. What I say? Leadership is all about what? John C. Maxwell said this, that the true measure of leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So that means that in order to understand leadership, you need to understand influence. Okay? You have to understand how to influence. Okay? You have to understand how to influence. Now, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to give you 4 places. Let me put it this way. I'm going to give you 4 things. I call it 4 places that you need to be as a young leader or as a young person so that you can be in a position to influence. Then after that, I'll introduce you to a certain concept that will allow you to be influential. How many of you guys are excited to hear what I'm about to say? Okay. Now the first one. So this is the 4 places that you need to be as a young leader in order to influence. Number 1 is the place of vision. It may sound simple, but wait until I explain. Please write, the place of vision. The place of vision. The word vision comes from a Latin word known as visionem. Visionem means sight beyond sight. Okay? Now, what that means is that sight beyond sight is right now I can see you. Hi, what's your name? Nah. So right now I can see Nah, I can shake Nah. Okay? But sight beyond sight goes beyond who I can see in the present. It goes into the future. Okay? So your vision is a function of your mind. Your vision is a function of your mind, and your mind is very powerful. In fact, your mind is so powerful that anything you set your mind to, the universe and everything around it, and everything within the universe will align itself to your thinking. That's how powerful your mind is. So your mind always provides you with avenues so that you could live in all the dimensions of time. So with your mind, you can live in the past with memory. With your mind, you can live right now with awareness. With your mind, you can live in the future with vision. So that is why we need vision. Now, the thing about vision is that as a young leader, you shouldn't just have a vision, you should carry a vision. Let me say that again. As a young leader, you shouldn't just have a vision, you should what? Carry a vision. Now, what do I mean by carry a vision? Okay? I mean, carrying a vision comes in two levels. It comes with the mental courage and then carrying the vision in terms of execution. Okay? So, mental courage, what do I mean? I mean, being able to carry the vision of where you want to go at every point in time. So, it doesn't matter where you are. In the washroom, you are thinking about your vision. Oh my God, I want to be at this place. I want to be the CEO. And everywhere you go, you have to carry it. And once you carry that vision in your mind, it's going to produce a metaphysical or abstract chemical known as consciousness. The word consciousness comes from a Latin word known as conscire. That word means to be mutually known. Now, when you use the word mutual, it's always like two people, like you and I, okay? But in the context of that Latin word, it's actually like one person, but it's the knowing is too deep. It's like your soul, your spirit, your body is so aware of your vision that your body, your entire existence is consumed by that vision. So that is the way you should be if you want to be able to be a young leader who's going to do something. So have the vision. Then don't just only have the vision, carry it. Now the next place that you need to be is the place of capacity. Somebody say the place of capacity. The word capacity comes from the Latin word known as capacitatem. That word means to be able to hold. So right now I want to ask you, what can you hold? Ask the person to say, what can you hold? I'm not talking about your phones or anything, just what can you hold? Actually, ask him. What? Ask him. What can you hold? Okay. If I know your name there today, you're in trouble. Okay? What can you hold? All right? So, as a young leader, what can you hold? What do you have in your hands? Okay? What do you have in your hands? What can you hold? What can you hold? Now, the place of capacity, you can build capacity in two ways if you want to be a very successful leader, okay, in this new generation. Number one is in terms of knowledge or mental capacity. Number two, in terms of network capacity. So if you are trying to succeed, first of all, you have to build mental capacity to the extent where once people talk to you, they already know that you carry something valuable. Okay, so your mental capacity is on that level. Mental capacity comes in 3 dimensions anyway: knowledge, wisdom, understanding. I'll leave that for another day. Okay, and network capacity. You're supposed to build networks with people, connect to people, just like Della and Chris was saying. Okay, so you have to do that. Then we move on to the place of belief. The place of belief. Guys, you have to believe yourself. Say, I can do anything. When I started as a young public speaker, it was so difficult. So difficult because, right now I've trained so many companies, done so many speaker engagements. This year, done over 50. Talking to people, 50, plenty. Okay? Now, when I started, it was so difficult. Like, so I felt that I was ready. I'd built my capacity. And then I went to people, I was talking to them, I was telling them, oh, please put me on your show. Like, I was literally begging people, I beg, please put me on your show. So, come and speak. I have the power, I have the words, everything. Nobody puts me. Nobody puts me on. Some of them, I still know them to this day. They see me and they are texting me on LinkedIn. But, you have to be able to believe yourself that everything is possible. And then you have to be so radical while going at it. Right now, I wish I could show my before and after picture. You see me training big companies and it works, okay? So you have to have the belief, okay? You have to have the belief. You have to have the belief. When I was doing my national service, at the same time, I had employees. I'm not flexing, I'm not rich at all. Right now, things are harder than ever, right? But it was like that because I have the belief in me. I know that I can do anything. Okay, so you have to have the place of belief. In fact, the word belief comes from the Latin word known as beliefan. Okay, that word means to hold dear. So you have to make sure that your vision, you hold them dear to you so that you can execute them and have faith and confidence in yourself. Now, number 4, this is the last place that you need to be. The last place that you need to be is the place of utilization. The place of utilization. Now, guys, after you've believed yourself, you build capacity and all of that. You have to use what you have. You have to express your gifts. Okay? Jim Rohn has something that he says. He says, there's something called the law of use. Okay? And it states that whatever you don't use, you lose. So if you don't use something, you lose. In this sense, I'm not trying to say you lose your knowledge or you lose your networks or your connections. What you are losing is the opportunities. You'll be losing so many opportunities just because you are not using what is inside of you. Okay. Now let me move on to something. I want to introduce to a brief concept, then I'll just end. I want to introduce you guys something called the pyramid of influence. Please write this down quickly. Now, if you guys want to scale, we are in the modern world, okay? For me, I started building my online presence on LinkedIn, okay? So how many of you here on LinkedIn? All right, so started LinkedIn. Within a short time, I was like growing. Everybody's like, who's this guy? Right? So sometimes if you want to be able to understand these things and maneuver all the way to the top, I've helped CEOs, I'm working with founders in different parts of the world, okay? I help them to understand something called the pyramid of influence. And I'll just go through it quickly because I have short time. So now it comes in 4 stages, okay? Now, if you look at a pyramid is like almost like a triangle, okay? Divided. I mean, it's more complex than that. I don't even know how to build the pyramids, right? But yeah. So at the base of the pyramid, you have something called the generalist. Now, if you want to be a person of influence, you cannot be a generalist. Now, what is a generalist? Let's say you are doing everything on the general spectrum. Okay, so for example, if you're just what word should I use? What example should I use? What example? But you see, okay, let me move on to this. Okay, now from the generalist, you move to the specialist. Okay, so a generalist is like you are doing everything. You don't have a particular niche. You're not niche down. But once you become a specialist, people get to know you for something specific. So, for example, when I started out, I wanted to be like this personal brand guy and all of that. But I didn't know what to do. So before I was just teaching, I just teach on personal branding, all of that. I'm like, okay, personal branding is this and this and that and that, right? I had knowledge on that. But when I became a specialist, and I started helping people to build their personal brands on LinkedIn, very specific, okay? So once I moved up that pyramid, then the opportunities started becoming bigger. So once you move up the pyramid, then your opportunities become bigger. So if you're an IT person or you are a lawyer, once you specialize in something, there are more opportunities to be coming every time. Ask anybody. Okay? That's how it works. So once you move from being a general person, you move to being a specialist. Now from the specialist, you move to an authority. Now that is where you have everybody sees you as the bona fide expert in that subject matter or within that field or anything, okay? You become that known expert. So building authority comes to so many different things. My time is short. I would have done some whole show for you guys, so I get to help you understand it, but I'll just leave it at that. Then from being an authority, you become a celebrity figure. That's where I hope to be very soon. So it's not like necessarily a celebrity where when people see you, they're like shouting and everything, but I mean, within your own niche, within that sphere, within the, let's say, the IT space, the real estate space, like, you are so well known, people respect you to the core. So that is the pyramid of influence, and that's how you can be able to build yourself. So as a young person, just figure out how you're going to go through the pyramids. But one of the things that we have to our advantage is social media. We have digital platforms. Let me say this quickly, okay? That personal branding is about yourself and others. It's always about 2 entities. So social media has given you the avenue, okay? So Instagram has 1 billion members. LinkedIn has 950 million members. So those platforms give you the other people, and you bring yourself to the platform so you can be able to project yourself and build a brand on there. So they've given you the audience. Just come and build your brand. Just build an impression. Personal branding, per my definition, and you can write this down if you want, is projecting your genuine self to create a specific and desired impression of yourself in the minds of others. As simple as that. Should I say it again, or should I? Okay. Personal branding is projecting your genuine self to create a specific desired impression of yourself in the minds of others. Okay, so I'll just end with that. Now I just want to end with the saying that I said in the video. Okay, now in life, there are always two sides of the coin. All right? There's health, there's sickness. There's wealth, there's what? There's wealth, there's what? People don't like poverty, crowd. You don't even want to mention it. There are problems and there are solutions, okay? So if you are not part of the solution, that means that you're automatically a part of the what? The problem, okay? So you have to be on the side of solutions. You always have to be on the side of solutions. And I want to help you know, let you know that if you're a young leader here, okay, you're inspired to do something, expect to fail. And my best advice to you is fail faster. Fail faster. Because on the road to success, failure will always be at the junction. On the road to success, failure always what? And if you don't see failure, if you get to success and you don't see failure on the way, that means that you are heading to a realm of perpetual malfunction. That sounded cool. All right. So thank you guys. My name is Paa Kwesi Folson. I'm Ghana's greatest Gen Z keynote speaker. Thank you.